Construction champions. Built for leaders who want more than average in construction and in life. No fluff, no excuses. Just the truth, the standards, and the mindset it takes to win. Welcome to Construction Champions.
Welcome back, Construction Champions. I'm your host, Ron Nussbaum, and I'm here for another amazing conversation. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. That's what continues to help grow the show. It has been amazing what we've been able to accomplish over the last 4 years here, and it's all because of you, our listeners that continue to talk about the show, put the show out in front of new people. And we're going to continue rocking and rolling here. And today I am going to have a conversation around something that's near and dear to my heart these days. Now, if you would have asked me, what is this, 2026? So go back to 2010 when I was just getting into the construction industry. If software would be a subject that's near and dear to my heart, I would say you're absolutely crazy. I like to run the jackhammer. I like to do that stuff. But now my life evolves around software. I have a couple different software companies. We just built out Construction Champions Chat. And I'm going to talk about software from a completely different level than anybody else will ever talk to you about it in construction. Because I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to change your perspective on it. And what I tell our customers all the time, whether you're buying Builder Comms, which is SaaS, working with Buildable Labs, which we build custom architect software design for your business, is I can give you the perfect piece of software to fix your problem or to fix your company. But that literally is only 30% of the issue, if that. Like, that's giving me a lot of credit, I think. Let's say 20%. The software is actually 20% of fixing the problem. The other 80% is you, your business, and the procedures behind that software. See, we are sold all the time that software is what will fix your business. It will fix everything. Yeah, I believe that 100%. Being like, I operate in software. I believe so much in software that I have invested the last 5 years of my life in helping the construction industry with software. But it's not the fix everybody thinks it is. It's a piece of the fix. You have to get all of this other stuff right for it to work. You just don't implement software and fix your problems in your business. What you do is you implement operations and procedures and how we do things together with software. It's not a one or the other, it's an and. And software does not work by itself independently if you're not willing to put the effort in behind the scenes on how exactly are we going to use this? What are we going to do with it? Who is going to be responsible for what? What does the workflows look like? How does this actually make us better? Like, let's start thinking about what exactly is this piece of software doing? What kind of support is it going to need? And here's the thing. I'm not saying this to be negative on software. I believe that here in 2026, if you are running a construction business and you are just running it off of email, a pad and a pen, and text messages, you are 100% wrong. But what I am here saying is that software is not going to fix all your problems alone. And the sooner we realize that, the better off we would be. So as you start to implement software into your business, you need to be thinking about the procedures that are going to go behind this and how exactly do we roll it out. What I have found out in the last 5 years is that integrating software into a construction business is the life or death of it. That software and how you go about actually implementing it in your business is what would decide if it's going to work or not for you. But yet we don't think about this process at all. We just show up on a Monday morning and we just say, hey, boom, bada bang, we're now using this project management software. Best of luck. I know it's going to completely change how our business runs. And that's not how it works. We have to put thought into this. It's just like anything we do. So stop thinking about software as being an end or means to the end and start thinking about it being the beginning stages of how we start to get this right and how do we continue to grow this business, because that's what software is in construction. It is a piece and it is a tool that allows you to continue to be better. But we can't treat it like it's the fix. So there has to be infrastructure built around it. And when I say infrastructure, I mean systems, processes, procedures, accountability, all the stuff that should be baked in your business anyhow, should be baked around the software that you utilize. This is why the adoption rate and failure rate is so high in construction. I have watched so many businesses do this without a plan, and I have watched a lot of businesses do it with a plan. The ones with the plan succeed because they thought about it. They figured out exactly how is this piece of software going to impact my business. And they just didn't willy-nilly roll it out. They rolled it out in phases. They rolled out what made sense to the right people. Start getting that working, get that feedback, start to understand exactly how that works, and then continue to grow the business from there on that software. So stop looking at it as a fix. It's part of the solution. It's a smaller part than what the actual behavior is. The behavior around it is the hardest part. When I talk to people about software, and I get asked this all the time. How long does it take to implement a piece of software? How long before we change it actually is working and it changes how we do business? And I always phrase this is, let's say you drive to work for 15 years and you get to the stoplight and you take a left-hand turn. And then one day Ron Nussbaum comes walking in there and says, hey, if you take a right at that light, it will save you 10 minutes. How long does it take you to stop inherently going left at that light, to where every time you cruise up there, you turn right? The muscle memory that is ingrained in how you do something for 15 years takes time to change. And it's also one of the reasons that it's so important to put processes and systems around how we utilize software. How does this work? And then how about not even putting it around? That's one of the things that really pisses me off about the construction industry is that all the time we are trying to change how we do business to fit some piece of software instead of finding software that fits how we do business. Like, think about that. Why should I have to change how I do business to fit a piece of software instead of a piece of software fitting how I do business? Like, that's my belief is like, that's how it should be. Is software should fit into how you do business. But that leads me back to that the systems and the processes around it are more important than the piece of software itself. All ingrained thoughts, what we believe, are the hardest parts to change. I can give you a piece of software that fits perfectly into your business, will completely change how your business is forever run. But the thing is it's still only 20% of it. There's 80% that fall on the procedures, the accountability, the thought process. The software doesn't control that. Only you control that. And only you can be the one that lays it out there in your company and says, hey, this is how we do it here. This is exactly what we're going to do. And we're not going to do it differently. And then have accountability around that. And then you know what happens? Is that software starts really working. And you're like, man, Joe down the road, he said he didn't have any luck with this. And it's been like 90 days here, and I'm actually seeing some changes. I wonder what the problem was. Well, the problem probably is that there was no intention when rolling it out. There was no thought process in how does this actually affect everybody within the company. We only thought about one thing is, man, this new hot project management software, this is going to change my business. We're going to roll it out. It's just going to change how we do everything. And we don't worry about the 80%. The 80% that really matters around software. It's why construction software gets such a bad rap. It's because we're not willing to talk about this. We're not willing to just say, the greatest software that has ever been created for a construction business is only getting you 20 to 30% there. There's still 70 to 80% that's all behavior and systems and processes that have to be implemented behind the piece of software in order to get you to the greatness that you can be. And this goes with any piece of software. Period. I've just spent 5 years in this world. I've been around construction since 2010 at every level you can possibly be at. And I've spent the last 5 years in the software world serving the construction industry. And this is just a blatant elephant in the room is that software is sold as a fix when it's a tool and it's part of the solution. The real solution is like, let's fix these businesses and get them to where when they implement software, it does absolutely amazing things. It's one of the reasons I do this podcast. Like, let's change the mindset around the construction industry and help move us forward. Let's understand that there are tools out there that are designed for us, but the success of it is in our hands. It's not in anybody else's hands. For every construction business out there, the success of any of this lies in your willingness to hold people accountable, to create the systems, to live by the processes, and hold yourself accountable. to this is how we do it. Because without that, there would never be a piece of software that ever will fix your business. You have to fix your business first and then allow the software to compound those results. So, construction champions, go have a fantastic week. And until next time, be the champion you're meant to be.
If this episode helped you think differently, share it with someone on your team. And make sure you're following the show. Every conversation like this helps raise the standard for our industry. Until next time, go be the construction champion you're meant to be.